Hi, this is Dr. Ben Morrill. Welcome to episode 74 of Reptile Genetics Weekly. We got a lot more cool stuff. We're going to talk quite a bit about cypress today and also about samurai. Pretty excited. Lots of really cool animals, really nice pictures of really nice animals to look at and talk about today. But as far as updates for results, as we've been able to say for quite a while now, fast tests are going out pretty much every day. 1 to 2 business day turnaround. Sex determination for ball pythons and clubrids is going out most of the time twice a week, and sometimes even more than that. So it's 3 to 5 business day turnaround. And as far as panels go, by the time you see this Tuesday night, probably a little over a week out. Probably going to be like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week will be the panel results coming out. I've got a bunch more new tests that I'm playing with that will be in that as well. So some of the ones that you all been asking about, I'll have another chance at. People always ask, and it's actually a good thing that you all do, because sometimes it reminds me, because I'm thinking about new ways to find some of these new mutations, and sometimes someone will ask about something that I hadn't thought about while I was doing that new technique. I'd be like, oh, that might work with this. So anyway, I'm glad that you do ask, and I wish that I could give you, sometimes people ask for like a time frame or whatever, and I'll almost never be able to give you that. I can say we're really close, or we're not close, but we are working on it, or, we just need more sheds. That's kind of the 3 different levels, whether we need more sheds or we've started working on it, but it's still got a ways to go. We're waiting for sequencing to come in, or we've already done all of the, a big run, at least one big run of sequencing with something like Monsoon and Monarch. We've done like 3 rounds of sequencing. But yeah, sometimes it's just difficult. But anyway, thank you all for your patience with us. And we got 10 new ones out recently, and we got more coming. And so yeah, that'll be another fun thing. Middle of the week next week, we'll get a more panel results out for you all, but then also some more research information and maybe some more new tests. So pretty fun stuff. This is why we started this, to be able to do this, and it's starting to ramp up, and it's really cool. So anyway, that's what I got for updates. Kayla, how are you doing?
Hey Ben, I'm doing good. I am so excited for that next run to come in next week, because I like when we get more tests. It's exciting. And I get to make those little posts that say, hey, we have this out now, and then everyone's like, what? So it's exciting. I'm good. I got the sniffles a little bit today, but it's fine because it's my birthday. I'm turning 29 today.
Awesome. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
For those of you watching this, we actually recording the same day that this is going up. So you can message Kayla. This is actually her actual birthday. Say happy birthday, and you're not even late.
Yeah, exactly. So hey, we might have another world first that somebody produced. Want to see pictures of it?
Oh, they definitely do.
Yeah. So this might be as far as we know, a world's first G-stripe puzzle. And I think it has pastel in there as well.
So yeah, it's definitely the first one we've tested that's been homozygous for both G-stripe and puzzle.
Yeah, it was produced by Matt Graham of PhD Pythons. And so, I mean, just look at him. I love those side patterns. It's kind of like
so funky,
like faded but stretched out too.
Yeah.
Really cool looking animal. If you've ever wondered what a G-stripe puzzle combo looks like, apparently we have our answer. So really cool to see. Love seeing new world first combos. But getting some business stuff out of the way. So this is one that's a message from Sean. Ben, do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, so if you're sending in scale clips, they do work well. But if it happens to be for an animal you want us to do like 5 tests on, it sometimes is difficult. We might run out of scale clip. So if you send us an inch square of shed, we can do like 30 different tests on that, and we can use a new piece of shed every single time. That's a lot. But these scale clips, sometimes the best we can do is, if it's really small, we can just use it for 1. And sometimes we can cut it in half, but it's not very often we can get more than a couple. So just to make sure that we can get if you are wanting like 5 different tests done on one animal and you're doing scale clips, I would suggest you send at least as many scale clips as you're doing tests. So that way, if we need to, we have more that we can go back to, even if we can cut them in half. Sometimes a full set will go bad, or sometimes a single reaction will fail and we'll have to go back. And so if you're doing shed scale clips for sending in for testing, and you're doing multiple tests on that animal, just make sure you send at least as many scale clips as you do the tests you want run. And go ahead and write on there. Like if you put 5 scale clips in there, go ahead and write 5 scale clips, because sometimes we can't see another one. We look for a while, we're like, oh, that's it. But if we know there's supposed to be 5 in there, then we can be like, okay, it's got to be here somewhere. We'll look a little longer before we give up and say, hey, we need more material. So yeah, if you can do that when you're doing scale clips, that way we'll maximize our chances of getting all of your tests done and not having to ask for another shed or another scale clip.
Definitely. And of course, we mentioned that we have 10 new tests. Here they are again. And all of them are $50 or less for all tests now on Morph Market and Clutch. And one of those we're going to be talking about today, Cypress specifically. So just making sure if you didn't hear already.
So we're kind of getting towards the end of baby season, but if you know that you've got many that you want to run, we can really get the price down. If if you're able to send us a list, you email it to Sean at raregeninc@gmail.com, and he can set you up with most of the time we're using just a Google document, and you can either just email him a list, or he can just set up a Google Doc and put those in, and that way we can give you the best price possible. And sometimes it gets it down to like $20 a test. If you're doing many many individuals and multiple tests per individual, we can really get that price down quite a bit. And that's what we're focusing on right now.
Oh yeah.
Still turning out new tests, but also really trying to get costs down as much as we can. So if you're going to want to test multiple animals, and you don't have to test them all at one time, if you buy 20 tests, you don't have to use them all at once. You can use 2 or 3 or 10 here or there until you use them up. So they're not going to expire on you.
Exactly. If you've bought it in the past, we'll still honor it, because we can always run the test. So so that's our business stuff for today. So we do have a special guest today that we're happy to bring on, and that is someone who actually joined us at the Dallas NARBC show this weekend, and that is Troy of Balls and Strikes Pythons.
Hey,
Troy.
How y'all doing?
And you've been
Doing
home
good.
like almost 24 hours?
Almost.
Not quite 24 hours.
That's okay. So for the show, we had Sean there. I don't know if Allie was able to be there this weekend.
I know she was there Saturday.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Glad to hear. And so of course we didn't get any pictures with Troy, but it's okay because we got him here now. But Sean got pictures with the Herp and Harbins, and met up with Okie Mom Balls, and she actually had like strawberries and cream cookies ready for Sean. Look at the smile on his face. Like that. That's how the cookies made him feel. He said they were the best ones he'd ever had. So apparently Jen does work with her baking skills.
That's awesome.
So yeah. And let's see, it was Champagne Pet Doc. What's their official name? At the Carrollton West Pet Hospital. They had this really cool sticker board they tagged us in, and look at all the folks that were in there.
Yeah,
I see us, but
yeah, BC's Balls is there, and Best Dressed, and
yeah, we must have gave away 500 stickers over the weekend.
Oh, nice.
I don't see mine up there, so
I know
it's so funny.
Yeah, that's okay. I know I've started a sticker collection on my water bottle here, but there's I can still see the color of the bottle itself. I gotta keep working on that. So definitely looks like a lot of fun was had there. But yeah, Troy, was there anything you specifically remember from the show that you saw that was like, oh my gosh?
So I really wasn't able to get out and about much because Margaret, who usually comes with me to shows, was not able to make it for this one. So I was pretty tethered to the table for most of the show.
Yeah.
I know Josh at Ball Python Shed had some really cool looking animals there, ultra puzzles and
Oh man, but that was pretty.
Yeah, he had a really nice chocolate Mojave puzzle desert ghost.
Wow.
And some of his redhead clown stuff were phenomenal as well. So
Ooh, nice.
yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, there was. I mean, so Morph Jungle, like from where I was set up, kind of was right on my way to the bathroom, so I always had to pause and
Of
kind
course.
of fly over at their table because they always have amazing stuff as well. So
Awesome.
I was not able to really venture far. I got to visit with Josh and Alicia, the Harbins, a few times. But other than that, I really was pretty tethered to the table. So
understandable.
Was there a pretty good amount of people coming through?
Yeah, there was a lot of people. I'd say a fairly good sized crowd on Saturday. But I will also say that it seems like the majority of that crowd was there to see Ed and Emily of Snake Discovery.
Oh, that's right. They were there. Yeah.
I think the numbers, even I don't know what the numbers were through the door. I bet it was pretty substantial.
Mm-hmm.
When you consider it seemed like the majority of the crowd were there to see them, it's kind of really hard to say.
Fair.
No, there were some vendors that really struggled throughout the weekend and didn't do very well. We actually did pretty good. I heard a couple others said they do pretty good, but there were several who said they did not do well at all. So, but I guess it is what it is. I mean, sometimes you have a great show, and sometimes you don't. So
yeah. All right. So for and just for the other shows that we're visiting or that we're going to this year, we are going to be in Charlotte, or Ben will be in Charlotte on September 20th of that weekend. And for the All-American Reptile and Plant Expo. I won't be there because I'm going the next week to Colubrid Fest, which will actually be the first show that Ben and I will both be at, believe it or not, even though it's been a few years since I've been here with RGI. And we are sponsoring that. So really excited. And Troy, you were telling us a story before we started recording about like seeing an animal and you're like love at first sight. I'm afraid that's going to happen to me at Colubrid Fest. So we'll find out.
Yeah, we will be vending the Charlotte All-American show as well.
Oh, rock on.
Looking forward to seeing Ben there. And
right now it's looking like my wife and 4 kids are going to come. They won't be there the whole time, both days, but I think they'll come for a couple hours, one day or the other.
Oh, Ben's family is so sweet, and Sarah is awesome. So that's cool. If anybody gets a chance to meet Ben's family, they're cool.
My guess is it'll be on Sunday because they'll get kicked out of the hotel. So Sunday afternoon, probably.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you what, in this region of the country, the next 2 weekends have some power-packed shows. Some of the best breeders and vendors in the nation are going to be there. Starting with the Southeast Reptile Show, Bob's show in Atlanta this coming weekend that we're vending. Then Troy's show there, All-American in Charlotte the following weekend. And both shows are just packed full of a lot of amazing people and vendors. So
it's like, and then Tinley next month and a whole bunch of other, like September and October are like powerhouse shows. And no, my screen just froze. Don't do this to me. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can fix it. It's been a while since that's happened. So yeah, okay. I guess I'm just gonna, I guess we're doing this. It's fine though. So getting back so tell us about this, Troy.
Yeah.
There's probably a few people that are here specifically for this because it's in the thumbnail.
Well, yeah, you kind of gave away a couple genes that are in there as well as Samurai on the screen. So the sire to that clutch was a calico yellow belly clown that was produced by Garrick DeMeyer at Royal Constrictor Designs, and he was paired to a import. We personally did not import that snake. She was at a friend's house. He used to import bags of snakes, or he didn't import them, but he would buy them by the bag from an importer. And she was one of the ones that were in one of the bags. She's right around 5 to 6 years old now. She was very slow getting started. I assume that's from being wild caught. I've never actually had to deal with a wild caught animal before. So, but yeah, he raised her up for quite a while, got her going. She looked like she was going to go last year for him and slugged out. So, due to some health reasons, he needed to get out of the hobby. So we purchased that animal from him when he offered her to us, and she went for us. And so this was the reaction of the calico yellow belly clown to this snake. And so tentatively, we are calling the combination here with this female passing on her genetics, we are calling Samurai. So obviously it's way too early to be boasting, oh, we proved this gene. We don't know if it's an incomplete dominant. I know it's not recessive because we get a visual straight off first clutch, viable clutch. And she laid 6 eggs, 2 went bad in the incubator. So, we were touch and go. This one and one other snake in the clutch are showing very similar, some similar traits, especially up in the upper third of the body, look very similar to mom. The last half really is heavily influenced by that calico and yellow belly, but she is definitely not normal. I have personally never seen this reaction. I know when we first purchased this snake, there was a few things I thought, okay, well, she might look a little like this or a little like that. But we have not shed tested her yet. And now that this has been produced, we'll probably go ahead and do that. But I don't think I'm going to do it right away, because just in case she does come back something that is actually already known, I don't want to burst my bubble already so fast. But of what I thought she could be, and another breeder who's local here saw the mom, and he thought she looked very unusual as well. But that combination with the gene we thought she could be looks nothing like this animal. So it's very exciting. It's way too early to be boastful about, oh, I've got this gene, but mom definitely passed on something. And the reaction with the known genetics of the father is it's very exciting. And the other drawback is mom female, only now 1 viable clutch, and both the babies that look like they have received genes from mom are both females. So we're definitely still doing the long game at the moment. So yeah,
that's how it goes.
Yeah. And then the Samurai name actually, so the guy we got her from was very, very much into Japanese culture and had tattoos for, samurai tattoos. And he was very much, a buff on the Yakuza and stuff like that. So when I came home from Dallas, and this baby was already out of the egg, who hadn't even pipped when I left for Dallas, which was amazing. So, I didn't have to see her in the egg and go, what is this? She was already out of the egg. So, so when I saw how that wild reaction was and the completely cool pattern on her, I thought, okay, I need to give a tip of the cap to this guy who actually, bought this animal as an import. It raised her up, and the mother. So I thought I'd give a tip of the cap to him and call it Samurai. So, and I thought it was a pretty cool name too. So,
oh yeah,
because there's a lot of bad gene names out there. So I thought I'd name it something kind of cool in honor of him as well.
Yeah, definitely makes sense with the pattern that you get there. That's a wacky pattern.
Yeah, so here is the sire to the clutch, yellow belly calico clown. Again, Royal Constrictor Designs animal. He is the father to that baby. And he does have some really cool pattern, but he is a visual clown.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, it's just kind of wild how much of the pattern did disrupt in the non-clown version of these genes being together. So that it'll be a lot of fun down the line. Of course, we got to wait a whole nother year to see if maybe we can hit a male as well. So
yeah,
long way to go in the project. And but it was so exciting to see that. And
and I love that it was already out of the egg. You didn't have to have the cut and see and wait. Like
she's just already out and fully there for you. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
You know,
Too cool.
Calico happens to be one of the morphs I've kind of followed, and I've produced several, and yeah, I mean, that's so cool. I've have Calico with Fire and Yellow Belly and Orange Dream and Enchi and probably a couple others as well. But yeah, I mean, none of the combos I've made have looked like that.
Yeah, that's pretty exceptional on those genes. So, yeah, very exciting time, and like I said, long way to go. And I'll post update pictures on on what she looks like after she sheds out, and maybe a couple times, and maybe I'll send her shed in to you too. So then that might be because we already know for sure she's Het Clown, and she's definitely Calico, and she's definitely Yellow Belly. So. But of course, Mom would be the deciding factor sending that shed in. So
yeah,
right.
I'm interested to see if that pops for anything. My guess is the way that thing looks, I don't think it's something. If it is something that we've already have, it must be something nobody's put into Calico.
Yeah,
right, or at least in that combo, because that is definitely just a wild reaction. And so the photos don't really do her a whole lot of justice, but I will say the video that I did put on Instagram really shows her really well. I mean, it really kind of captured her true colors and the pattern and how she looked on that video. So I was pretty happy with the way the video turned out. Especially since I shot it on my iPhone. I mean, I have a really nice camera, but I was so excited. I just, had to.
Oh yeah.
My phone was right in my pocket, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna shoot a video of this, and then, but of course, at first I sent it to the guy that we got the mom from, and he definitely got very teary and just, I knew I knew it. So
validation. Let's go.
Yes.
All right.
So very, very exciting, but again, everybody that DM'd me that you want in on the project eventually, it's going to be a long time.
Yeah, all females so far. That's a rough way to start.
So after she sheds out and has a few meals, if I am able to get a table at Tinley, which I might be vending Tinley, I will probably bring her with me, just so everybody can see her in person and see that I did not alter the photos in any way, shape, or form. She is legit. She looks just like she does on that video.
Cool.
And I did not alter in any way. She just doesn't need it. She's phenomenal. So
yeah.
Cool. Well, any of you that haven't seen the video yet, you have to go. It is Balls and Strikes on IG, right?
Yeah, with an N. So Balls with an N, because it wouldn't let me do the and symbol when I was getting my account. So Balls with an N, Balls and Strikes _ Pythons on Instagram. The video is on there ever. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All
right. So you guys ready to talk about some cypress?
Oh yeah.
Yes. So we were very excited when we were working on new tests to be able to find a good, really good. Looks like it's the causal mutation. It's in a gene that makes sense, that would make a color and pattern change like this as it has in other animals. So very, very cool, very exciting. We were able to find this, and so I kind of reached out to several people and said, hey, send me some cypress pics, cypress combos, and thankfully Troy was willing to come on, even though he hasn't even been home 24 hours.
Yes.
he's produced some really cool cypress combos too. So we want to kind of go through these and talk a little bit about cypress and where it's really nice, what combos is really, really nice to have it in.
Definitely. And as we've been scrolling through, we've got people from like someone we sponsor, JLP Morphs, which that's a cypress hypo male. Inky Clouds, who we've featured on the show before. We don't know the exact genetics of these guys, except that there is cypress in them. The one on the left looks lesser or buttery to me, but I'm the colubrid person, so take that with a big old grain of salt.
That looks like probably a pastel cypress red stripe to me.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay.
That's what I think that is. I have hatched several cypress red stripes, and the side pattern looks very similar. It does give it that stripe.
I see.
Yeah. So that could be pastel or fire, but very, very beautiful animal.
For sure.
Yeah, on the right, an Enchi cypress.
I could see that.
Yeah, I would say, well, yeah, as an adult, that might color up that good. So
I don't know for sure. Tommy, you'll have to jump in the comments and let us know.
Yeah. And then Pastel Cypress Lab Albino from Balls of Fury, which Troy, I think you sent us a picture with a similar similar combo.
Pastel, yeah, just without the pastel.
So that high white is so good. Love that.
Orange too.
Those are phenomenal. Those are, Corey makes some absolutely stunning animals.
And look at that, like that Cypress Hurricane fresh out of the egg.
Oh yeah,
that is cool looking.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah, I love Cypress and Hurricane, as you'll see here in a minute too.
Oh yeah, CD constrictors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love just like the plain head with a busy pattern on the body on this one too. That's really cool.
So a lot of times on these too, it's a little easier or to ID Cypress sometimes because they'll have like just this little blushing right on the back of their head, right almost at the neckline.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, almost all of them get that little blush line right on the back of the head.
Interesting. Okay. I love the little tells that people are able to find out because from an untrained eye, you look at that and you're like, yeah, it's a cool snake, neat pattern. What am I looking at? But I love hearing what people can see in each morph for each species. It's amazing. And so I think now we're on to Troy, some of the stuff that you've produced. So this makes me love bamboo even more.
So this one, like Cypress is, I mean, I've never seen anything change bamboo this much. And this is a full grown adult, and she looked spectacular as a baby. And honestly, she got a little bit darker tone as she's gotten older, and she has that really cool golden head. And as she's aged, her back's kind of got that little more golden hue to it as well.
I love that. Really pretty.
Yep. And there's the Cypress Lab without the pastel.
Oh man, I don't know which one I like better, with the pastel or without.
Cool combo.
Yeah.
Both beautiful snakes for sure.
Oh man, so pretty. And we got a Cypress red stripe spot nose.
Right. So this one, and I should have sent you a photo as she looked as a baby, because as a baby, she was really maroon. And as she's aged, she has turned into this ultramel looking color.
Interesting.
But with the Cypress and spot nose being allelic, I think, and then also Cypress and red stripe has such a strong reaction too. This was just an absolute dream combination, and she just looks absolutely phenomenal. And a lot of people, when they see her, first question is, oh, is that ultramel? But it is not. There is no ultramel in that pairing, and she's just kind of turned that color as she aged from a deep maroon.
That is so cool. Yeah, I'd love to see baby pictures of her.
Yeah. And then she is 66% het clown, and her shed is right here. Just I meant to give it to Sean in Dallas, and then I got there and couldn't find it, and called Margaret, who couldn't make the show with me, and she's like, "Yep, it's still sitting here on your desk." So,
oh man,
I'll mail it off to him here in the next day or two if I can. So
there you go.
Yeah.
And this guy looks so cool.
So last season we paired a Cypress Firefly acid to a Cypress red stripe, and this was one of the babies. So acid, Cypress, red stripe, Firefly, and actually several babies in that clutch were absolutely phenomenal, just completely crazy looking.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that it looks like a dessert. Like that is an unrolled cinnamon bun right there, with icing.
But somebody, so cool. And I can't right off the top of my head remember who, but I got talked out of that animal, so I no longer have her. I'm thinking it was John at Black Rock Balls that talked me out of that snake.
That pattern is so cool.
Yeah. It is pixelated and also like dripping on the sides. That is just that's so cool.
And I like the black outline of the light stripe. That's just all around.
Yeah. So a lot of the Cypress red stripes are kind of similar to this, But that acid in there just really blew it out. And her belly, which you can't kind of see in this photo, has pattern all through it as well.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, she's got a really had a really cool belly as well. So, which
I
really gave away
belly.
the acid in the combo.
Oh yeah.
So.
Okay, when we pulled up this picture, I thought, oh, that's got to have Monarch in it, but no, not a bit.
Yep, and she's Cypress Red Stripe. As you can tell, I love Cypress Red Stripe combinations. We do a lot of them. Not only are they absolutely beautiful, but they look great in the displays, and they usually don't. When they go to a show as a baby, they usually don't come home with us. They're usually some of the first ones off the table.
I mean,
yeah.
You get both cool color and cool pattern from a combo. That's so powerful.
Again, another example of the really cool golden color that combination can give you between Cypress and Red Stripe. And that Inchy just really did a great job on just cleaning up all the maroons and that gold stripe going down the back as well. So very exciting.
Like that's almost like a blood python backstripe kind of look. Like that's too cool.
So, and then yellow belly, instead of Inchy, all the little alien heads still in the sides, it wipes all those basically out. So you have like that golden stripe with a plain, or as it ages, it has some pixelation as a baby, but then the sides just turn pretty much completely maroon as an adult.
Wow.
So
nice.
Really cool reaction.
That's so cool. Speaking of cool, this is amazing.
Yeah. So this one, this is one of those, every time I open his tub, I just can't help but smile. It's like, I'm in awe of him every time I open the tub. I would love to take credit for producing this animal. I did not. Chris Davenport at D Exotics produced this snake. And he is absolutely every bit as beautiful in person as he is in this photo, if not even better. He's aged a little more than in this photo. So he's slightly more coppery than he is in this photo, but he still looks absolutely phenomenal. And the thing is, and this is another good example of an interaction with either yellow belly or gravel, because the yellow belly does not have this crisp of a color, and the trick hurricane in it doesn't have quite that same reaction. So gravel really put this over the top, other than having yellow belly in there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that head, how bright that head is too.
Oh yeah.
And the black eyes, that's awesome.
So cool. Cypress Asphalt Het Clown.
So I actually had this snake on my table in Daytona, and while I was there, I'd seen that you guys had posted results, because this was a asphalt / yellow belly on the table. And then when I got the result and saw, oh, that is asphalt, I took him right back off the table. I was like, yeah, no, I think I'm gonna keep him. So he is still here, and he's not going to a show, and he's actually breeding now. So,
good for him.
Yeah. So
who'd you pair him to?
Oh, there you go. He was breeder size at Daytona, and not too many. Only one or two people even really looked twice at him. So, which shocked me. So, but yeah, I'm glad he didn't go anywhere, and he's definitely going to get a lot of work in here now that I know 100% that he is asphalt.
Cool. I like how right at the first third line there, he's got like it looks like a little spur dripping down there between a couple alien heads. It's cute.
Almost like a little morphed Pac-Man head gobbling up a little.
Yeah.
But yeah, very cool. And actually, that's a really good example on this one too. You can see that blush line on the back of the head, right at the neckline. That is very, very common in Cypress combos.
Yeah. No, the head is distinctive too. Like, I wasn't sure what about it was, but I see what you mean there, the blush line.
Yeah. I would say 95% of every Cypress we've produced has that line. Clown, not clown. They almost all have that blush line.
Interesting. This one's pretty. I like the colors.
So beautiful snake. Kind of a disappointing result. This was supposed to be a Cypress yellow belly clown to a super inchy asphalt. And not only did we not get any freeways, we didn't get any ivories. We didn't, I mean, nothing, just some snakes that look like this. So instead of testing the entire clutch, we tested the parents, and turns out neither parent was yellow belly or asphalt. So that was kind of soul crushing. But in turn, it did save money just testing the parents in this particular case.
Yeah.
Because and we tested the father first, and then the very next run we tested the mom. So yeah, very, very disappointing. Now, full disclosure, the mom was produced by me, so I'm the one that screwed that one up. But the father was produced by somebody else and was sold to me as a, and that was another thing, sold to me as a inchy Orange Dream asphalt, and it was also negative for Orange Dream. So that was like, it's like the best you've ever seen. So yeah, but the babies are beautiful. They all are het clowns. So all these will be on the table because they are ready now. So they will a lot of them will be on the table, probably half of them at Southeast and the other half in Charlotte. So, I don't like to take the same snakes to shows back-to-back weekends. It's just a little stressful on them. I don't like doing it if I can avoid it. So if you came to buy the table in Dallas and you come to Atlanta this weekend, I'm going to have a lot of different snakes on the table, mostly different snakes on the table. So
yeah, no, I like that you care about, not stressing them out and making sure that they're, you're looking out for their welfare.
I mean, with Dallas, they're off. They're out of their tubs. They don't have access to water for 5 days, and so
it's a lot.
One thing, if it's a local show and I'm just taking them there Saturday and bringing them home Sunday, then I might take them to a back-to-back show because they're only out of their tubs for not even 48 hours. But in this case, everything we took to Dallas, 5 full days of no heat, other than some in the
ambient heat.
But we also use heat cables as well, but we don't turn it up too high, just enough to where there is some heat there. If the venue gets too cold, they're not going to freeze or anything like that. So but so everybody, all the snakes that went to the show will be fed today as well. So we don't want anybody to be off food from being just so stressed from traveling so much.
Definitely. Let's see, and you've got the Cypress Clown Boy right here. Well, actually, it was 2 different animals, I think we figured out, but they're siblings.
So, no, not siblings. The one on the left I purchased, and he's a full-grown adult now as well. The one on the left I purchased 3 years ago as a Cypress yellow belly clown. I'm not going to give up who the breeder was because this guy has made things so right in the past. Like I'm not going to fault him for an honest mistake. But so anyway, as a Cypress yellow belly clown, and then the one on the right as well was sold to me as a Cypress yellow belly clown. The one on the right has been tested now and is not yellow belly. It's kind of crazy because his pattern is really wild, especially compared to the one on the left. I mean, they don't just look like regular Cypress clowns. So, but the one on the left is now in shed. So I'm going to send his shed off as well, just for. And if it's negative for yellow belly, I might go ahead and just get you guys to rerun a full panel. Might need to do that on the other one too, just see if there's something else in there. Because and also the one on the right is in just going in the shed. He's normally much darker maroon, like more similar to the one on the left. But
yeah, I mean, I can understand where someone would think, especially if it was in the pairing that there's yellow belly in there, because that. Like on the right, it might just be because he's in shed, but that looks like you have a pet lemon pound cake. So it's really nice. I like it, but I bet he'd look those maroons would really stand out.
Yeah, they still look pretty doggone good as adults. Not quite as good as the younger picture on the left, but they still look really, really nice. But like I said, so we're 0 for 1 and hopefully not 0 for 2 on yellow belly in those, but so we'll see how that goes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So one thing we wanted to mention now bringing Troy on, we are actually sponsoring him. So Balls and Strikes Pythons is 100% het sponsored. So, I actually put together like a little, went onto his morph market and wanted you guys to see. What's that?
I said, yeah, and you didn't find much because we don't do that much on Morph Market. We have a very heavy show schedule every year, usually right around 14 to 16 shows a year.
Wow.
And we do have a lot of people that come see us at the shows. And, so it's just a matter of if we sell stuff on Morph Market, then we don't have anything to take to the shows. So
that's fair.
So we enjoy the interaction and all that. So, and the two snakes you have up on the top there on the right, the Voodoos, the one on the right was shed tested and was negative for Desert Ghost. The one on the left is Desert Ghost.
Ooh.
Okay.
So
how about that?
For that as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Also, I normally, whenever I clip like the stuff that you do have on Morph Market, I usually don't include the prices. I just want people to appreciate that. But the prices are really nice on your animals, so I'm like, yeah, I'll throw that on there too.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
those are some awesome animals.
So yes, they are.
Sometimes, and more so, more recently than before. A snake has to make it through a few shows, and then if it hasn't sold, then it's going to go on Morph Market because obviously the people who come to the local shows around here and who have seen them on the table have passed on them. So let's go to a national audience and see who's interested in the animals.
Makes sense, and it's less stress for them overall too. Instead of popping from show to show to show, a bunch of times. Makes sense.
And speaking of that. That's another reason why we don't usually list a ton on Morph Market. I'm very much, I don't know, I guess I get a little bit too attached to some of the snakes because I know it's got to be incredibly stressful for them to be packed in a box and shipped across the country on an airplane.
Yeah.
And we only do ship hub to hub, so we don't want our snakes bouncing around on some FedEx driver's truck, all day long trying to get to where they're going. And so, and we're lucky where the FedEx at the airport here will take a snake as late as 9:30 p.m.
Nice.
So I will drop them off super late, pack them up and drop them off late. So they're in that box for the least amount of time as possible.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, and one of the big reasons why we wanted to have you as someone that we sponsored is Stephen from Leviathan Snakes had mentioned just how many shows that you do. And it's interacting with people all the time. I like to really highlight for people that either haven't been to shows or not very many, the people that go and do these shows. And I've done some. I've never done 14 to 16 in a year. I've done 2 or 3 or 4. But there's a lot of interaction with people that are either brand new or they saw a video or something and they're interested. And it's really a special situation where you have them, like everything's better in person than in the pictures or in the video.
Absolutely.
Have these people there that are interested in the hobby that we have, and you get to have them, face to face. They get to have the chance to be able to see them right there, and sometimes hold and talk about and ask questions. Right. It's just really awesome. The people that spend the time to do the traveling, and it's hard work. Like I know for me, sometimes my voice is gone and I'm dead tired. And so we just really appreciate that you're out there, because that's another thing with, we had COVID where sales were really good. And then coming out of COVID, sales were more difficult. But one of the best ways to help that economy is to have more people that are interested. And I think the people that are at shows do a really great service to the hobby by helping nourish and get more people excited about it.
So I will say, the market does seem to be down, and obviously across the board it is, especially on online sales. However, I will say that we've also in the last year and a half, 2 years have had the best sales we've ever had. So that'd be, we're just producing a lot better stuff as well now. But we do a lot of shows. We move so many animals at shows, and like you said, people also when you're at the show, they can also hold that animal and see the temperament of the animal. because that is important to a lot of people as well. And
Yeah.
we also have care sheets pinned to the top of our Instagram page. So we always make sure,
Awesome.
to show people that. Because sometimes, when you're dealing with pet buyers, like it's so funny. A pet buyer who's looking at an $80 animal will like ask you 100 questions and, hang out for an hour and a half before they decide to buy that animal at a show, and then message you 30 times in the next 4 days about different questions.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we had to really come up with the care sheets. Any questions you don't have that isn't covered here, feel free, to let me know. Not that we don't mind doing that. It's just funny to me how, if I have a $4,000 animal for sale, usually a phone call comes in or a message, hey, I'll take it, send it to me. I just sent the money to you on Venmo or PayPal or wherever,
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't ever hear from them again. You just see the snake posted from time to time, but that just goes to the people who are spending thousands of dollars on an animal typically know what they're doing. So they don't have too many questions other than hatch date and when was the last time you fed it. So,
yep.
So, yeah. So it still makes it fun though.
Definitely. So yeah, I think that is possibly all we have for today. So Ben, Troy, y'all got anything for before we call that an episode?
I would say definitely let people know what shows. So you're next week, this weekend coming up, you're in Atlanta at Bob's show.
Yes. Yep. The Southeast Reptile Expo is this weekend.
Yeah.
Tell Bob we said hi
for that. Oh yeah. I'm very much looking forward to seeing Canova's table because they typically only do Tinley Park. So this one in their backyard, and Bob always brings amazing stuff, and there are, and it's not just about ball pythons. That Bob has got some of the best vendors in the country with many, many different things that are going to be there. So and then the following weekend again is going to be the All American Reptile Expo, and then actually I have a show schedule. So then the next 3 weekends in a row after that, or 2 weekends in a row after that, we have Charleston, South Carolina Repticon, and then back to Charlotte for Repticon, and then Tinley Park the weekend after that. So then I get a break. Then I get a 2-week break.
That's good.
Yeah. Then we have our home show, which is Repticon in Columbia here, South Carolina, and then we'll be off to the St. Louis NARBC show where hopefully I'll get a chance to hang out with Sean some more there. So and then after that, we go on a cruise for a week.
Woo! Fun. Where are you going on? Where are you cruising to?
So we're going back to the Caribbean. We're going to Roatan, Honduras. We've been there before. It's amazing.
Cool.
Belize, and then Cozumel on the brand new Sun Princess. So,
all right.
Oh yeah, by the time we get on that ship, I plan on just sitting by the pool and I have the drink package, so I'm going to put it to full use.
I
tell you that.
There you go.
Good.
But so after that, we do take a couple of months off. If we have a show in December, actually we do have one show in December, and then after that we don't have another show again until I think we go back to Dallas in March, or might be actually Tinley. I think is 2 weeks before that again. So, but we do take a break, and we usually take July off in the summer as well. Just as a break.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Awesome. And where's the best place for people to find you? Is that I guess you're not on Morph Market a ton. Is it Instagram or Facebook or? Yeah. So most of the time Morph Market's pretty good about notifying with the notifications, but sometimes the app just doesn't ring through. So, but I try to check on it every now and again. I think I only have like 2 or 3 snakes on there at the moment. So, but Instagram by far is the best way to get a hold of me. We are on there multiple times a day. If I'm not on there, Margaret will be on there. We do have a Facebook page. We are on that Facebook page very, very rare. So maybe once every few weeks we get on there. Facebook can be a little challenging sometimes with some of the people that are on there, but Instagram definitely seems to have the best reptile community from what we've seen. So
that's what I'm gathering too.
posted a few things on TikTok here and there. I do have a YouTube channel. There's absolutely nothing on it yet working.
Yet.
And speaking of Leviathan snakes, so Steven, yeah, he keeps like, yeah, you keep saying you're going to do it. Where's the videos? You got to, so yeah. But when you do a lot of shows, and I work a full-time job as well, so gets very difficult. Time is so limited, especially when you breed your own rodents as well. So I mean,
fair.
The dawn, yeah, 5 a.m. to usually 10, 11 p.m. every day, whether it's working in here and then out there, or just out there on the weekends or going to shows. It's definitely a lot of work. So
right on. Well, any of you that didn't know Troy and Balls and Strikes before, hopefully you got a really good feel for the kind of person he is and the kind of animals he's got. And if you happen to be able to go to any of the shows he'll be at, you already know a bit about him, go say hi. And then if you happen to like one of the ones he's got on Morph Market, and you can go that way too. But yeah, thanks so much for coming on. Been fun talking about Cypress and Samurai. And
my pleasure. And let me just say before we get off here that the sponsorship has been absolutely phenomenal. We are very, very pleased to be associated with RGI, and just the amount of shed testing we've been able to get done already has altered breeding plans for us. I don't want to say a whole lot, but a whole lot. We definitely changed due to a couple pleasant surprises and some big disappointments. But so just this association and, not being, getting off my lazy rear end and getting those sheds in and
it's hard sometimes. I understand.
Yeah. Being able to speak with you guys and Sean as well has really been a big help. I mean, this is such a wonderful tool for people to use. I hear some people complain about it, but for me, it is a wonderful tool that we definitely plan on using from now on. As long as we're doing this, and as long as you guys are doing that, we are definitely going to be, and if for no other reason, to get some animals tested, so we know we're not selling something that we think it is and it is not. So
awesome.
So thank you so much for the sponsorship. It's much appreciated. We do not take it for granted, and we're very, very happy to be associated with RGI.
And likewise.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Troy, and thank you to everybody who has tuned in today. It's show should be coming out at 7 tonight, as always. And make sure you like, subscribe, comment below, and say hi to Troy at the next show you're at. And outro in 3, 2, 1.